share with people. People say, oh, you must have really loved the travel. Travel is hard now. You know? And it's not traveling that's so fun. It's actually being able to meet people and reconnect, and people from my past. Oh, here's Jim. One of my friends told me, Tim Didlow said, you know, people from your past are coming up to you now. I'm like, oh, you're kidding. No, they do. I kept saying, oh, no, I got to worry about that first husband. You know? So we've done a lot, and I really have appreciated all of your help in all the ways that you provided help. And you know, my feet didn't touch the ground in some states. I mean, I was just carried around, and you know, it was just, you know, you can get a big head that way, so I got to watch it. But we did make progress on a lot of things we were trying and thinking of doing. The wellness fair takes place tomorrow, 10:30 to 2, and if you have a chance, drop by, because there's information and there's instruction and there's some goodies. We have the chef. If you see the big sign that says Anaheim White House, one of the best restaurants, the chef over there is coming over to do some cooking. And I'll tell you a little secret. ALA sent me pictures from his cookbook, and they said, we don't know if anyone, you need to show this to anyone, but will you approve him being there? And his cookbook all featured male models. And I said, go for it. I'll take the heat. I said,
Chief spokesperson. And that means being an advocate for libraries, librarianship, library workers, and ALA. And you can just say, okay, I'm going to do advocacy because that's what the president does, but you know, we have a great opportunity that we haven't had in previous years. We have the new Office for Advocacy headed by Marcy Marola, who is very, very enthusiastic. In fact, you know, Marcy's life has become advocacy for the library. She came to ALA to work in public information, and she thought this was such a great thing that we do in the world. She's enrolled in an MLS program right now. So we'll have a wonderful advocate as she learns even more. But because we have this new office, we can do some things we perhaps haven't been able to do in the past. And I think sometimes our advocacy efforts are fragmented, and we even inadvertently compete with each other. I think that we can be more effective if we support each other's causes. Last year, I was at the launch of the Skills Act on Capitol Hill on a very, very hot, humid Washington day. And the sun was shining, and it was very, very hot. But it was a very, very spirited rally. The unfortunate thing is just about everybody there was a school librarian. And our way back to the nicely air-conditioned convention center, one of them said, so why were you here? And I said, because this matters to me as much as it matters to you.
But what I really would like to share with you are some of the ideas that I'm looking towards, and also to get a sense of how you folks feel in terms of representing the various chapters. Like many of you, I grew up in chapters in my particular chapter, and that's where I developed my leadership skills at the local level, as well as I did within Reforma and also CJCLS, which is Community College Group. But when I addressed you folks, and is this the same group that I addressed? Okay, thank you. When I addressed you folks at Midwinter, there were a couple of things. One particular thing that I was really focusing on, although I recognize that in ALA 2010, I can never get that right. Ahead 2010, the strategic plan is really what should be driving everything that we do. I really have a passion, and it's because of my involvement in advocacy. So I don't think this should be anything new to anybody who knows me or to anybody who paid attention to what I was sharing with you at Midwinter. And I've had time to think more about it. What I really like is the idea that we are, as candidates and then as folks who are elected, this is really beginning to gel in terms of maybe the whole concept of advocacy being integrated and infused in everything that we do. So I'm really going to continue to push that. And I still feel very strongly that there is a level of folks that we have not gotten to yet. And when we talk about, if I say grassroots advocacy, everybody has a different interpretation of what grassroots advocacy is. And I'm doing a chapter for a book on advocacy, and so I've been reading a lot about grassroots advocacy, and grassroots advocacy from the political sense is exactly what the Spokane moms have done. And if you folks have not met them, they are a dynamite group of, a trio of women. For me, grassroots advocacy is how can we get more people within our profession, both in terms of rank and file librarians and also in terms of rank and file other library workers, involved in advocating for their library, for libraries, the value of libraries, and also the value of library workers. But for me, grassroots advocacy is getting that other layer of folks involved, trained and involved, because the more people that we can get speaking and advocating for, again, the value of libraries, the value of library workers and everything that we do, and advocating for our services and our users, I think the better off we're going to be.
I guess just a couple of things that I would like to say in addition to some of the things that Leslie's going to be talking about, and then I'll obviously ask if people have any questions or concerns they want to bring up. I think the first is that I really want to hats off to Michael for the work that he's done in pushing this notion of getting CapWiz out at no charge to the chapters. It turns out that within this COM chapter demeanor, there burns the heart of a passionate advocate, and it's amazing how Michael dug into this issue and really carried it along. And I think that given the advantages that CapWiz provides, I'm just really thrilled that we're able to provide something that's actually a tangible benefit and saves all of the chapter's monies, and we do it quite economically because we're able to get it for everyone. The other advantage is I think that it would have been inevitable that different people would have gone into different systems, and we would have ended up down the road with 4 or 5 different kinds of systems, and then trying to address issues of making them compatible and creating new databases and yada yada. So really hats off.